Hey, what's up? This is Justin J3 Jenkins here. J3 Jenkins because I have three J's in my initials. Three J's for my initials. Not because I'm clever or anything, but just because I simply have three J's as my initials. And that's about it. So I am doing this drawing demo today of one of Stan Proko mannequins from his mannequinizing lesson because I like to draw and I thought it would be neat to kind of show the process of drawing and let people kind of see how I work. Now, granted, I am trying to, as closely as I possibly can, ingrain Stan's calligraphy into my way of drawing. So the way I'm drawing here and the look of my drawing is real similar to Stan's in the videos because I love the way the guy draws. I love the look of his drawings, and I'm trying to internalize that here so that hopefully at some point I can take parts and pieces of his calligraphy, of his drawing style, of his thought process, and kind of ingrain that into my own unique look. And the way that I'm trying to do that is by mimicking his drawing style, his strokes, the way his hands move, all of that as closely as I possibly can. And then at some point in time, when I don't suck, and I'm essentially developing my own technique, my own workflow, my own approach. This will become part of it, but my drawings at that point probably won't look like this, or they won't, or I won't draw them exactly like this, but I'll just be using those pieces and parts which stuck with me and carry those through to my own unique style. But for now, I'm trying to ingrain Stan's. So that's what I'm doing here. So if you're taking any of the classes with him online, you'll notice that here the look of my drawing and the way I'm drawing is real similar to his, and that's kind of why. And I thought it would be nice to just explain that thought process up front in case no one heard it before. I can't remember if Stan really talked about that in any of his videos or not. Maybe he did. I don't know. I've been busy just watching the actual ones where he's not speaking or anything, going over these mannequins over and over again. So maybe he said that at some point. I don't know. The other thing that I wanted to say about this drawing is right now this for me is kind of like mannequinizing and gesture at the same time. I'm trying to draw as quickly as I can, and for two reasons. One, because I don't want the video to take a real long time, and I don't want to speed the video up because I don't think the sped up videos are nearly as helpful as watching someone draw it in real time. So I didn't want the video to take very long, and I didn't want to speed it up. So I wanted to draw it as quickly as possible for that reason. And then I also just kind of wanted to test my own ability and see where I was at in terms of speed versus quality, which is, very challenging. It's still really challenging for me. I can create some pretty not to toot my own horn, but I can make something that's not bad, that's pretty good if I take my time and think about it and look and analyze. But I'm really trying to take and ingrain these concepts. So hopefully, at some point in time, I can operate on a real intuitive level and draw quickly and have it come out looking nice and kind of get proportions right and just have nice looking strokes and all of that kind of stuff and still get it done fairly quickly, so that if I want to go in artistic directions where speed is important, I'm able to do that. Concepting, visual development, style work, illustration where I need to turn around, book covers or magic cards or whatever. It would be really nice if I could make that stuff look cool and do it quickly at the same time. So this is kind of me testing myself where I'm at currently, and I think I did pretty good in some respects and not so great in others. Like, I know there are certain problems with this drawing. Like, main one is I made his torso a smidge a smidge too long, unfortunately, so that ended up making his right arm look long and his head look a little small. Now, it's not the worst thing to have a smaller head, in my opinion, because, if you read Loomis or any guys like that, essentially just what that does is it gives them like either superhero proportions or like fashion model proportions or something like that. They just look like more heroic and less like the average Joe. And this is another kind of tip I picked up from Steve Houston. It's like, if you're going to, make a proportional error, it's better to make those proportional errors slightly longer the further down the chain you go. So essentially, if the head is one size and now you're down to the torso, you make the torso a little longer than it should be, and then, the arm a little longer than it should be, the leg a little longer than it should be. As long as you're erring on the side of longer the further down the chain you go, it's not nearly as bad as if you go in the other direction. And it makes sense to me, and I find things to look visually more appealing, even if there's errors to them, if things are slightly longer the further down the chain that you go. That's just me, but it does look better to me, so I definitely think there's some truth in that. So I think I probably could have really nailed this thing if I would have slowed down and paid more attention to what I was doing. But again, I was trying to just go at an intuitive level here and approach this as mannequin and gesture at the same time to see where I'm at. I think the overall look of the drawing still turned out pretty good. Just a few little errors in there. So I'm definitely aware of that, and I'll probably do this one again and keep doing a bunch more of these things and just whittle away at that until I kind of bridge that gap between speed and quality and intuition and all of that good stuff. And the way that I used to draw, and I got pretty good at it, it just took me a long time to create a drawing, was I would really measure the heck out of everything. You use those comparative measurement techniques and just measure the heck out of stuff and really try and nail the drawing that way. And I would like to find more of a harmony between measuring and intuition and ingrain that stuff so that I can operate on an intuitive level. And that's what I'm doing here. Here, you can see I don't really do too much measuring at all the entire time. I'm trying to just feel it out. And that process of bouncing back and forth between the comparative measurement techniques and the feeling technique, trying to just feel it out and make adjustments on the fly, I think It's gonna leave like little gaps in the working drawings, like the drawings where I'm kind of reining that stuff in and finding the harmony there. So yeah, some of that happened here, but overall, I think it's not too shabby. Thanks a lot for watching this. Anyone who made it to the end, I hope it wasn't too long. I tried to go fairly quickly. If people like this, I'll do more of them. And thanks for watching. This has been Justin J3 Jenkins. Bye.